So start by taking a very deep inhale. And when you get to where you believe is the end, take another breath. And then exhale. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhale. And take an extra breath. And exhale. Inhale with an extra little breath. And exhale. And as you sit with that breath, be very mindful that you've just opened up your chest even wider, and that you are bringing in those cleansing breaths that just help us to release any toxic thoughts or emotions or sensations that are just traveling about within us. So that we're just open to that possibility. And every time we feel like we might be shutting ourselves down or closing ourselves off, just remember to go back to the cleansing breaths. Cleansing breaths to open ourselves to what's possible for all of us. And as we do that, we can sit with what's there instead of pushing it away, just spending a moment doing a little weather check-in. What's floating around right now? What's wanting to be released but isn't? What's wanting to come up? Remembering our energy work that we've done in the past, allowing the energy of the emotion or the thoughts to come to the surface as we sit very mindfully and intuitively with what's there. Knowing that whatever that is, whether it's a challenging thought or a challenging emotion, just knowing that it's temporary and we can place them in the cloud. Place it there as we watch the clouds just drift through the sky. As we imagine that beautiful inner wisdom that we have, that we can access at any time when we allow those challenging thoughts and emotions to just drift away. No need to be attached. No need to analyze. No need to go back into the past, because we are in this moment right here, right now. So just sit for a moment in silence as you allow what's ever there to present itself. As Rumi says, it's a guest house. They're visitors just dropping in, but we don't need to invite them in for tea. We're just aware that they're there. And as you allow those thoughts or feelings to surface, just noticing where they are residing in your body as well. Sometimes they're stuck in our heads and they're whirling around like the wind on a stormy day. Other times they're in our throat chakra, that are keeping us silent about things that are challenging us to be within that higher energy vibration. Sometimes they're in our chest or in our hearts, because there's feelings of deeper sadness or grief. And sometimes lower down in our other chakras. But this morning, we're simply just going to acknowledge that they are there. We're not going to get attached or ruminate. We're simply going to not acknowledge them and then put them in the cloud. And as you watch those clouds drift away, you're suddenly aware of that beautiful blue sky and the gorgeous rays of sunshine that are sneaking through. As you imagine that beautiful blue sky with the sunshine, you can imagine that light from the sun with all its twinkling, its beautiful, colorful rays, as it wraps itself around you. That feeling that you get when you're sitting outside in the sunshine for the first time after maybe a long, cold winter. You feel the beauty and warmth of that sunshine. And right now you have access to that as it wraps itself around you in a loving and protective way. The light from that image is protecting you and something that you can wrap yourself in when needed. Perhaps when you feel any challenging emotions like fear or sadness or anxiety, as it starts to rise up inside of you, you acknowledge it, but not get attached to it. You let it fade away, and then you bring in that beautiful, protective sunlight. Because in this way, we're not pushing our emotions or thoughts away. We're acknowledging, but we bring in that sunshine to give us like a force field to get on with our day or to drift back to sleep. Just remembering the power of your mind. The power of your mind to stay stuck in places of fear and anxiety and sadness. But you also have that same beautiful power to call up the rays of sun that can protect you. And you might think about the colors or the temperature of certain emotions that come up within your body and your mind and your heart. Maybe that fear and anxiety is more cool, colder, causes you to shiver a little bit. But the knowledge of joy and happiness, love and contentment that you've all experienced has a warmer feel to it. That feeling of sunlight, the protective rays around you. We might even give the emotions and the thoughts colors. We all know how we feel when we're anxious or fearful. We know how we feel when we're sad, and if we attribute colors, they might be those dark colors of black or gray or navy blue. And when we see those colors, we bring those warming colors to mind. The bright golden yellow, the beautiful hues of orange and reds and pinks. The colors of the rainbow that we see when there's a cross between the rain of the challenging emotions and the sun coming out, and we see that beautiful rainbow. The rainbow is a result of the rain and the sun. And often when we see those rainbows, we smile because they're so beautiful. It's such an unbelievable act of nature to see the rain and the clouds disappearing as the sun starts to peek through and form those beautiful colors. And in those moments, we might recall our Ho'oponopono. When we say, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. When we say Ho'oponopono, it may be to a person who we are in conflict with. Or it could be that we are saying it to ourselves because we're being so hard and critical on ourselves, so self-judgmental. And often when we're self-judgmental, we can lapse into judgment of others. And so we bring into our hearts the Ho'oponopono for ourselves. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And when we really speak from our heart, when we really say the I love you from that place of heart-centeredness, from that place of unconditional positive regard and unconditional love, the more we work with that for ourselves and for others, the more we're going to see those rainbows. The more we're going to open up, opening our hearts so that we realize within our hearts we are love. And when we are living in love, we are letting our fears, our anxiety, our sadness, our anger, we're letting those go. As the feelings arise, we let them come up. And perhaps they do require Ho'oponopono. Perhaps we have done or said something that may have harmed ourselves or others. But knowing that we are human, and to be human means to experience all of it. Because when we fear, when we are angry, or when we feel sad, we also know joy and happiness, confidence. We have to feel both so that we can appreciate the good and we can learn from the challenge. Without understanding both, we're just living a life in some form of darkness because the colors are dark. But we open our hearts to let that sunshine come in. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. And so for these next few moments, just sitting in that place of love. And if your mind starts to wander to the challenging emotions or thoughts, send love your way. You're just being your human self. You can reset by going back to your breath, or reset by saying the Ho'oponopono. Or reset by going into your heart and accessing that love. So as we sit in silence for the next few moments until you hear my voice again, be gentle with yourself. Because anything that comes up is meant to come up. It's asking for you to release it into the clouds so they can float away to find the beauty of the sun behind them. May you be safe. May you be content. May you feel strong. May you live with ease.